Their quest is to create opportunities for economic self-sufficiency for all. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess, coming to you from the Frederick Meyer Gardens and Sculpture Park in Grand Rapids, and this is COMCAST Newsmakers. Joining me now is the Chief Executive Officer of the Area Community Services Employment and Training Council, Jacob Maas. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
That's a mouthful, right? And I'm sure there's an acronym for it. But one of the things that you are very involved in and have really sort of taken over in West Michigan is the West Michigan Works campaign, correct?
Sure. Yep. So prior to October 1st of 2014, there were 5 Michigan Works agencies all delivering services in West Michigan. And the governor had a big push for regionalization over the last few years. But locally we had to decide why does this make sense? And so we started looking at commuting patterns, where individuals are traveling versus working, and understanding that employers do not care where they get their talent from, and why we create confusing systems for employers to navigate and get them the talent that they need. And so we started, it was about 2 years ago that we started these conversations, but we just wrapped them up as of October 1st. We merged. Nothing blew up, and so it was a good merger. We've done it in a way that does not reduce our service centers or our services to our clients. It did not lay off any staff. We've been very strategic about not filling positions over the last 6 months or 9 months when people retired. And really in a way that will still result in significant cost savings, over $1 million. We're actually looking at adding a service center in one of our counties that did not have them. And so we've done it in a way that can really be considered not only as a statewide best practice, but even nationally. We're looking at some conferences and doing some proposals for conferences.
So it sounds like, for folks who are not familiar with what Michigan Works is or what you do, it sounds like you try to match employers who are looking for specific types of talent with folks, or maybe even help provide those folks, those employees, with the talent that they need to get the jobs that are in demand right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We focused on a series of, whether it's assessments, making sure that they're a good match. Maybe they hadn't worked in that occupation prior to, or maybe they had worked in an occupation that's no longer within our area, whether it's West Michigan or some of the surrounding counties. They might have been downsized, laid off. The company might have left the country to Mexico or Canada. And so we work with all types of individuals, whether they're the low-skilled, seeking occupations or industries that are in demand and looking to get into the workforce, or those individuals that are high-skilled, had 20, 30 years of experience and are looking for a different career pathway. We've also focused a lot on working with youth, working with our ISDs, working with our community colleges on helping the students understand better occupations that are in high demand or in demand currently. Some of our largest demand occupations in West Michigan are IT, so information technology, healthcare, manufacturing, and construction are by far our largest. Those are some of our employers that are struggling finding talent, and so we're just really helping match up the students, get exposed to it through talent tours. Some of our manufacturing companies had opened their doors to the students to get them exposed to high demand occupations, letting them know that there's entry-level jobs within manufacturing, middle-skilled jobs, and high-skilled, and then what's the career pathway to get there? Is it short-term training that can be offered through a community college or a proprietary institution? Is it something that requires higher education, whether it's a 4-year or an 8-year degree? And so really just helping those students understand that there are good jobs here in West Michigan. Manufacturing isn't dead, construction isn't dead. And so letting them know that there are good, solid wages that can be earned in West Michigan.
Very quickly, how did your mission change, or what you do change, if it did, as the economy began to improve?
Yeah, so I think it's, the economy in West Michigan particularly, we have less than 4% unemployment. And so we like to pat ourselves on the back in some ways, but in some ways it's not so great, because it doesn't factor in all of the individuals that are looking, that might not be considered looking for work. And so there's a number of individuals that have been disconnected or maybe disengaged within the workforce. And so we're working on getting them excited about getting back into the workforce, getting them the short-term training that they needed to be successful.
A little smaller focus. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Great, thank you.
For more information on today's topic, you can visit westmiworks.org. Today's COMCAST Newsmaker was Jacob Maas, the Chief Executive Officer for the Area Community Services Employment and Training Council.